How did it all start? Dog is for life, not just for Christmas. I was a public relations officer for what was called the National Canine Defence League in those days. We had no money, and the trustees said to me, come up with something that is cheap and cheerful, but has all those poignant words and statements and meanings in it. And I wondered what on earth I could do. Anyway, a bottle of wine later, I think it was, with my husband and daughters. And we came up with a number of slogans, one being "A dog is for life, not just for Christmas." And I took that back to the trustees, and they thought, marvellous. 31 years later, and the enduring message is still out there. I think in some ways, it's rather sad that it's there, because after all this time, one would have hoped that we could have solved the problems of stray, abandoned, unwanted dogs. But in a way, it refreshes itself each year, and I hope that the message eventually will get out there. It is used and slightly abused by a number of people, and we do try and get some donations out of people. Last year, Marks and Spencer's, for instance, gave us £10,000 for the use of it on their bags. But they came to us before they used it. A number of people have used it and not asked permission beforehand. So, yes, I mean, whether it's saying God is for life or whether it's saying a Brussels sprout is for life, I think people still get the connection with a dog is for life. We do call ourselves a nation of dog lovers. It isn't the case, but I know that we are a lot better off than many other countries where several thousand dogs, million dogs indeed, are put down every year. I'd like to make it more difficult for people to get a dog in the first place. I'd like to see some of the laws that we have, like the Breeding and Sale of Dogs Welfare Act, enforced properly so that we can get rid of some of these most ghastly puppy farms that we have. And one of the big initiatives now is to ask the government to include microchipping as part of everyday dog ownership. Microchipping, if we get it enforced at the first change of hands, would be able to trace dogs back to puppy farms, the sickly dogs, get those closed down, which would be absolutely fantastic. It would help to stop kidnapping. It would help to stop a lot of the abuses that we see. It would probably help to eliminate some of the problems with the young kids that have the Staffordshire Bull Terriers, because if they're made to get their dog chipped and they know they're responsible for it from there on in, they might think twice before getting a dog. And you look at some of the celebrities with their handbag dogs. For goodness sake, they're dogs with 4 legs. Get them out of the handbag and put them on the ground. We have this terrible culture of loving celebrity, and they could do a hell of a lot more to help us, actually, to encourage people to be more responsible for their dogs. It's a message that says everything in very few words. For goodness sake, a dog today is a dog tomorrow until the end of its life. 17 years, perhaps you've got to think very carefully about what you're doing before you buy a dog.